Hey guys, hopefully you can hear me well. I'm going to shoot a quick video about time management, and that's the whole thing, quick, right? So I always talk about the analogy of cleaning out closets, and sometimes in the beginning it's going to look worse than, you have to get it all out, and that's what happens when you first get started. And even different times you have to look at everything, reassess, clean it out, get rid of the stuff that you don't want or use anymore in your life. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, but what the couple of things that I want you to think about is one, when you do the things you have to do when you have to do them, the day will come you can do the things you want to do when you want to do them. So you have to prioritize. And what I want you to think about is, what do you want to be true about you in 5 years, in 10 years? You want to have great relationships with your kids. You want to make sure you're in great physical shape, right? So there's things that are not okay to take off your list of things to do. The priorities, those relationships that are important, the things that you want to be true about you. Think about what you want that to look like 5 years from now. So those aren't things that you're going to take off what I need to do right now. And then the other thing is, you want to live like no one else, which means do the things that are hard things, do the gritty things, do the things that actually will pay you later on, but don't have short-term gain, but it's going to be for long-term good. So you're going to do the things, live like no one else so you can live like no one else. And honestly, I'm getting a chance to live like no one else. I mean, 7 kids, but getting a chance to have my time freedom. I'm not saying that to brag, right? You know my story. So I have something, I wish I wasn't having to hold my thing, but let's just pretend that I'm juggling some things. We're all juggling things, right? Like, we got this, people are always saying, I'm busy. Well, what are you busy doing? If what you're busy doing right now isn't getting you where the things you want to be true about you, which is be debt free, live in a home that's paid off, have the chance to go on vacations with your children, your family, whatever it is, be able to leave when you want to be at your kids' events, to be able to leave at the drop of a hat if someone needs you. Like we have all these people that are going through so many things. So I'm doing this to build the why. You want to decide that you're going to take control, because, either your schedule's controlling you or you're controlling your schedule. So if you don't know what you want to do, like, make your list. Mary Kay Ash always said, have the 6 most important things to do list the night before you go to bed. So no matter what, those are the most important things that you need to do. And I always talk about the hour of power, which is, small things over time. You can't work out for 8 hours a day and be where you want to be, right? But 20 minutes over time, 3, 5 days a week is going to end up in 1 year going to be a lot. So that's the way I want you to think about our business. So the hour of power is, you're going to use 20 minutes on your spiritual life, 20 minutes on your body, and 20 minutes on building your skills. You have to do that. You have to be plugged in. You have to listen to, it says that in the Bible, I always say that, we're going to win them by the blood of Jesus and the word of our testimony. Well, there's points where you need other people's testimonies, because this is an attraction business, and to attract people, you have to, plug in to remembering, believing that we have something that's worth, when you work for someone else, if you don't show up, you don't get paid. Here, you can do whatever you want. So you can decide to put it on the back burner. And I always talk about people when they go full time, it's kind of hard to employ yourself. So right now you have to learn how to employ yourself. So I'm going to talk about a few things that we're juggling. One of them, we have time. All of us have 24 hours in a day, but you need to leverage, be smart, and teach those things. If you have 10 people plugging into the calls and getting motivated, if you have 10 people that are reaching out and doing these things, what do you want to do? Daily activities that keep you focused and going to success. Track your calls, track your personal development, track your follow-ups, track your exercise, track your to-dos and what you're doing, drinking water, all those things that are so important. But every single day, sorry man, this is crazy holding this thing, say the number of calls that I've made, the exposures that I've made, the contacts that I've made. Just decide, no matter what, I'm going to make 2 a day, I'm going to make 5 a day, whatever it is. Say, no matter what, before I go to bed, this is going to happen. Do them first thing. That's a whole lot easier. The number of minutes that I spend on personal development, I talked about 20 minutes. Work on yourself, because you will never get paid more than what you put in. You never will. You got to break through on those things. Have an accountability partner. Find someone that you can say, okay, we're going to hold each other accountable. And, have you met with them once a week or once a day, whatever it is? Normally, if it's an accountability partner, it's going to be someone you talk to every day. And then the number of contacts you've made. I love this. I will tell you. I'm going to show you before I get back to my apples. But I got this High Achievers playbook for the network marketing professional. Somehow I found it on Facebook. I'll put the link somewhere. But one of the things they have is high achievers master prospect list. This is awesome. You got to have a list. You got to have a list of what you are going to do and accomplish. And when you write things down, it says in the Bible, it says, write it down so someone else can come back and look at it. You write it down. It's crazy. I've been just going through this stuff I'd written down so many years ago as a dream that I wanted in my life, which was go to a new city once a month, go somewhere. All of a sudden, these things are happening. It's not all of a sudden, but my mind, I programmed that in my mind. So write that list with 6 most important things to do. Make sure that you've got a great big dream list. I would say get off the phone, spend 2 pages of just writing dreams. Maybe they aren't possible to you. That's fine. It doesn't matter. It was put in your heart. You can't, your rational mind. And you know what? They say that the day actually starts at night because it's the dream state. And guess what? God can override your mind of what you believe. Jesus couldn't do miracles in his own hometown because of unbelief. So, anytime you get some kind of a thought that's a goal or a dream, make sure and write that thing down because you never know when it's going to come into fruition. And the way it's going to be doing that is by you writing it down. Okay, so I only have a few minutes because I got to take my daughter to volleyball. But anyway, so we're juggling all these things. What are you busy doing? So there's some things that you can get off. Okay, so you're juggling, a television show that's important to you, whatever it is. I couldn't think of anything, right? You might be volunteering for things. A lot of times, a lot of our problems are we can't say no. We're people pleasers. You're either a God pleaser, a people pleaser, or a self pleaser. And it's like the only person that we can be a pleaser to is God and freedom. So we're juggling all these things. Is what you're doing and filling your time with. And it's, in our business, you can put a solid hour of really working an hour a day, 2 hours a day, 5, 8, whatever it is. But if you do that consistently, you are going to get there. So, time management is about deciding, I've got these 20 minutes, set that timer. This is what I'm going to do now. And then, it's like you can clean your house. It can take you all day. Or you have someone coming over in 20 minutes. You can clean your house in 20 minutes. So time management is about knowing what you have to do, keeping your focus. I used to do this, and I need to start doing it again. I'm glad I brought it up. I had on a piece of paper, I wrote a verse. On the side of it, I put whatever, and on the other side, I wrote down. If anything came to my mind, like wanted me to go and get distracted, wrote it down, knowing to go back to it. And then I went deep in this. I'm like, okay, I just took that and it's like just whatever God was telling me about it. Read it, write it, say it, sing it, pray it, which is what you need to do on your goals. Read them, write them, say them, sing them, pray them. So what I would tell you in closing is that time is everything. I know that I've been really long, so I'm going to get off here. But listen, I hope you took some keys from this. You are worthy. You are worth it. You are enough. And it's time to take control over your time. Love you.